Hey Leo, this is Antenna Oracle here for you to do a general reading. I used to do Twin Flame and Soulmate readings. I've switched over to doing horoscope and zodiac general energy readings. Most of my readings still come across as love readings just because I think that's the energy I'm familiar with. So that's probably more than likely what we'll be looking at today. Just kind of reference here, this isn't a completely brand new channel, as I am trying to just kind of make a different divide and split between what I was doing and where I'm currently at. So any likes, shares, subscribes is greatly appreciated at this point. It will really help my channel grow and help more people find me. With that being said, I do not have any private readings available at the moment. I'm just focusing on trying to get the readings out there and get the subscriber count up and get the channel growing. So I have pre-shuffled and pre-prayed. It saves me about 10 minutes on the video times, which I think everybody is kind of grateful for, especially with newer channels. That way you can just kind of get right into it, see what they're about, see if you like their style, how they go about reading things, and so on. With that being said, I do 3 different rows of cards. I do not read reversals. Top row is typically present, energy, or the situation at hand that the Spirit's going to be messaging you about. Second row is typically more clarification. It can be, this can be either past or present. This one can be present or just more clarification. And the bottom one is typically either future or going to be more like advice for how to play out in the situation, okay? It can also just be further clarification because sometimes people just need a lot of answers depending on whatever it is that we're talking about. It should become pretty clear whether or not this reading is for you, and if this reading isn't for you, feel free to check out your Sun, Moon, Venus signs in different categories because that may be where my energy more resonates with you at the moment. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. We have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom here. So, Queen of Pentacles is obviously something that it can be either another person or yourself. The energy really talks about finding some grounded nature to you or this other person. We'll have more. Let's see kind of, give me a second. There's the Seven of Swords, we have the Alchemist, which is the Magician, Ten of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles, and then the Two of Swords. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably some sort of earth sign that you have been dealing with in your past. Just with the cards present. I don't think that this is a representation of you. I think this is a representation of somebody else, and whether or not they are Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo or not, it may just be that they have kind of a more motherly, nurture, grounded sense to them. They may have a lot of that in their chart, right? So, Seven of Swords talks a lot about the situation. This is lying, cheating, stealing, keeping secrets, things like that. You know, really could be someone that's been manipulative and keeping something from you. And whatever side that plays on, whether or not that's directed at you or them, you know, feel free to change up the story as it fits for yourself, whether you know that you were in this role or it was them in this role. This is a general reading, so take it as it fits, right? We have the Magician here as the next card. The Magician obviously is somebody that is all about manifesting, controlling one's headspace in order to use the law of attraction to gain the outcome that they're hoping for. And sometimes not, you know, not even gaining the outcome that they're working for, but that is what will play out. So if somebody's not in control of their headspace, they may find that they're manifesting in negative situations, such as the Seven of Swords here, you know, lying, cheating, affairs, things of that nature, sneaky behavior, what have you. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. The Ten of Pentacles talks about abundance in the family and home life. So really feeling fulfilled, like your home is coming to a completion state where you're happy with how things are working out there. There's abundance. You're not stressing about how you're going to be paying bills or what people are doing there. In the home life, there's not a lot of drama. And this is typically a very three-dimensional card. This could be something that you're trying to manifest, okay? The Princess of Pentacles talks about, this is also the Page of Pentacles, talks about communication coming in, some sort of offer being presented. It may be a more immature offer than what you would expect out of like the Knight of Pentacles. or you know, the Eight of Wands for communication. It's kind of like a bridge between the two, right? So we're looking at maybe some desire for communication and desire to offer something, but it's not fully thought out yet. It's not fully planned out yet. It lacks the real depth of being something that's either feasible or that's fully desirable, whichever makes more sense. The Two of Swords talks about a decision needing to be made. This is the fork in the road card. One path's going to take you one way, the other is going to take you the other. So a lot of times this choice requires you to have to cut something out or someone out. And sometimes it's like a choice of like, well, I need to either quit, you know, doing XYZ to be with this person, or quit this person and continue doing XYZ. Whether that means it's healthy or unhealthy, it could be, you know, I don't have time to have this job of my dreams and this person. I have to pick between one or the other because I can't dedicate all my energy, which it may require one to have all your energy, right? So let's pull some clarifying cards and kind of see how this plays out for you. Ending energy, the Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups is all about having a emotional new start, a brand new beginning in emotions. This can be whether you're single or in a relationship with somebody. This can just talk about either the refreshment and new feelings being stirred back up in a relationship, or a brand new relationship, just depending on whichever it is and kind of where you're at. Obviously, with this being a general reading, there's going to be multiple people that interpret this differently, right? So all right, Seven of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. This is basically talking about the ending of a chapter, an ending of a cycle. This could be a lot of this person. You know, maybe they were sneaking around in the past, or maybe they had some, like another partner. They were kind of being more of a player, so to speak. And maybe it wasn't even like, oh man, they straight up cheated on me. Maybe they were just, you know, playing the field and kind of dating around. And maybe it came across as a bit sneaky because they weren't relaying all the information or being as forthcoming with it as you would have originally hoped. But this talks about the ending of this cycle, the ending of them, you know, playing the field or you know, lying, cheating, whatever. It seems to me as though there's been some sort of karmic cycle that's played out. And whether that's them or, again, you, Leo, maybe you had some realizations or what have you. Maybe you've realized that you need to close out some chapters as you've been with multiple people or something like that. Obviously, again, different people, different readings, but we're going to cover as much ground as possible for everybody here. So, the ending of this cycle and really allowing this to close out and to close this karmic cycle. Whether this is just even the emotions from something that's happened and letting those emotions go so that you can move on to a better spot for yourself, you know, and be more emotionally available to receive this new beginning. We have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Magician here. This talks about whatever you've been trying to manifest, really getting close to that point of coming into harvest here. This Eight of Pentacles is different than the traditional Eight of Pentacles, as it is shown with the pentacles in the tree, almost like they're fruit ready to be picked. And you have the two people down here talking about what's been growing. It's like they can almost sense it. They're starting to tell people about this thing that they've had going on. It's becoming real. It's really becoming real. It's not quite there yet, but they can tell that it's happening, and it's becoming almost fulfilling. It's like you've gotten a second job interview, and you can tell that you've been trying to manifest this, and it's finally coming through, or you're starting the paperwork, or what have you. However this applies, and whether or not, I have a feeling that it's probably not so much job related. However, it could be, because you do have pentacles here, 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 here. So this could be a combination for different people, whether or not it's going to be job related. I really feel like there's a lot of focus in trying to gain this home life under control so that you can actually bring in this emotional new beginning. You want to be able to make a real stable offer, and you understand that maybe potentially where you've been at, it's not something that you can offer until you have essentially more abundance coming in, right? So the 10 of Pentacles with the Judgment card here. This talks about really opening up the mindset to allowing spirituality to guide you in achieving your 10 of Pentacles. Really using that law of attraction and continuing to trust and have faith in God that He will answer your prayers as you put them forth, and as you put that energy and you trust it and have faith and really display that you're having faith. You don't have any doubts anymore about how this is working or what's going on. You've really achieved kind of moving to this next level of spirituality, and you're like, this is really helping achieve my dreams, my goals, so on, so on. Having this level of faith is really something that has been big for me in accomplishing this. And if you haven't gotten to that point yet, it's telling you that this is where you need to go to get from this 8 to 9 to the 10, because we have 8, 9, 10 right here. And the 9 of Pentacles is really what's going to allow you to have this serious offer either come in or be able to communicate out, whichever side of that you're on. The 9 of Pentacles is represented as the harvest. Now it's no longer just on the trees, it's fully in bloom. So let me see if I can kind of put those next to each other here so you can see what I'm saying. But this one right here is, ready to go. It's vibrant, it's in your face, it's ready to be picked. This is the harvest. This is what you've been working for. This is real. And once you have this, this is like the job comes in, and now you can start acquiring things and going about it, right? We have the 2 of Swords with the 6 of Pentacles. So the 2 of Swords with the 6 of Pentacles talks about making this choice here. And the choice is to really plant the seeds and manifest, and if you haven't, to still do that, even though, you really want to kind of try and sync that up with the moon cycles. Manifestation at any point is still going to have some effect, whether it's just less or more, is kind of going to vary. And I may make a video later on the moon cycles and how to use that most for your manifestations. But honestly, I'm not sure there's much of a point, because I'm sure there's tons of videos out there. So I may not. I'll probably do a little bit of YouTube search, and if I see that there's a bunch out there, I'm not going to waste my time doing it. If you guys can just find another video that's just as applicable and good, I may just link it for you. But the choice really is what are you planting, and what needs to basically leave your energy field in order for you to be successful at this. Do you have something that maybe is negative, taking up a lot of your energy, versus something that you're trying to manifest? You can't have both in the same realm. You can't be spending, 80% of your energy worrying or focusing on, whether it be this cheating, lying situation. And maybe this is telling you that it's time to close this out. And not worry about it, because maybe you've been spending so much energy that it's really been retracting your focus on being able to successfully plant seeds to manifest what you need in order to get your real offer, which is obviously this Ace of Cups, the emotional starter. All right, let's get some clarifiers here. This seems like a pretty straightforward read to me so far. The only one I'm curious here about is this 7 of Swords, and I really feel like this is somebody from the past that's done some damage to you and maybe has caused you to go a little off stray with what you've been trying to focus on. And maybe the guidance really is along the lines of letting it go, closing this out, so you can start focusing back on getting, a career path going for yourself, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest, right? To me, it comes across a lot like money, but it's like money with the goal of achieving a relationship, What did I drop? We got the Queen of Cups. On the bottom side, yes. Okay. Okay. And the energy here, Leo, is going to be the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords really talks about there being some sort of mental conflict that's maybe holding all this up. Maybe there's been some harsh words, harsh realities to it. I see. Maybe losing this person or maybe this happening to you has been something that's just been so heavily on your mind that you haven't been able to break focus from it, which has really been what's kind of holding you back in being able to accomplish what it is that you're hoping to do. Maybe there was a loss to somebody that had either more money or a better career situation or more tangible things to offer, and that may have just really affected you. I'm not sure. I think that's going to be a message for some people, and that being the guidance to what's caused them to get here, to me, this is really kind of coming across as there may be some competition level of needing to feel the achievement of financial success in order to compete with some emotional situation. Maybe this person, or and if not, and if this is something that you've moved past. Maybe it's along the lines of not wanting that to ever happen again. Maybe you just hadn't wanted or desired to have that kind of hurt or feel that kind of loss because of something that you feel like you have control over, that you can easily change by acquiring more money and being more dedicated in that field. So with this, we have the manifestation and passion, the Ace of Wands here. So the cheating, ending of that cycle, ending of that thought process, ending of that karmic cycle, whatever has been holding you mentally hostage, I feel like. It's saying try and manifest passion back into your life, passion for what it is you're doing. Because if you sit there and you wake up every day and you're like, I love my job, I love my career path, I love what it is I'm doing, and you tell yourself that repeatedly and time and time again, until you just start believing it and manifesting it, and I'm the best at this, I'm going to be the best at this job that's ever happened, or I'm gonna be the greatest musician, greatest artist, whatever, what have you, whether this is a hobby or the start of a new career that you're really trying to manifest in. It's really telling you to bring in the passion and manifest in the passion. If you don't have enough passion to get yourself the motivation to do all this, manifest in the passion. Work outside the box. Instead of just being stuck to how am I ever going to have the energy in order to accomplish this goal, and this is just so long and daunting. Manifest yourself in more energy. It's abundant, right? So just think outside the box here. With the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Five of Pentacles, and then we have the Knight of Wands. This really talks a lot of kind of feeling like there's like in the process of doing all this. And I feel like it was almost like you guys were working on this goal, and you were like close to achieving it. And you were starting to see the tangible efforts of all the stuff that you'd manifested in, and then all of a sudden this bullshit happened, right? And that just kind of, it almost like sidetracked you completely, and you're just like, well, why the hell did I even bother doing this? And the answer is you're doing it for yourself, obviously, but sometimes doing things for yourself is not as easy as when you have somebody else to really motivate and push you there. And to me, it looks like you just lost something to lust, almost. Like there's some sort of lusty thing that happened that came in and it left you out in the cold, and it just kind of wrecked your entire motivation, your entire achievement of doing this, because we have betrayal over here with you being emotional and trying to have this emotional connection with somebody, and then you just get stabbed in the back. You just feel totally stabbed in the back and left to die while you're working for your goals at family and building this home and in this stable environment, and all of a sudden you get stabbed here. And it's telling you to have faith in the entire process, that this was something that had to happen in order for you to gain the level of spirituality that you need to accomplish this goal in the first place. So even though it sucks to get stabbed, and you're sitting there going like, why, God? Why did it have to play out this way? And the answer is because you would never have gotten to this place where you would have to learn how to level up. And because you would have never leveled up, you wouldn't have been able to achieve it. Even though it looks like it from the outside that you probably could have just laddered up, you would have hit a plateau, is kind of what I'm hearing here. So you had to go through this destruction almost. And I'm sure this was probably, if I went back in time and did the reading prior to this, there probably would have been a tower represented somewhere coming up and so on. So, because this is very much that kind of energy, right? Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Swords. There's been a lot of turmoil, there's been a lot of strife, there's been a lot of conflict, and it's like you tried to paint this picture for this person, show them, what you were willing to work for to have the life you wanted with them, right? You were going so far out of your way to try and achieve basically everything that you thought they wanted plus you wanted and more. You were willing to go that route with this person, and it's just like, even though you've shown them the picture, they still just for whatever reason don't quite see it, and it's been nothing but conflicts and arguments and battles, and it's because of all the stuff that's happened over here, and not really able to heal past it. It's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Like it's just like stuck mentally here in this battle. Even though I think you truly desire some level of connection and commitment with that person and wish that you could go back. It's like you wish you could just go back in time and figure out how to stop that from happening so you could continue on your path, The Three of Wands here underneath the Six of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. And this tells me right here that if you realize that you just need to make this choice, you're going to realize that you're a lot closer than further to your goal. It's probably more around the corner than you even realize. Even though it feels like it's a long ways off, as you put it back into faith and you start believing, you're just going to pick up leaps and bounds. It's shocking what can happen in a week or a month or 2 months, and all of a sudden you go, wait a second, I was just all the way back at square one, it felt like, to boom, I have my harvest. What the hell just happened? And it's because you have faith and you believe in the process, and you come to the greater understanding. You're back to the Nine of Pentacles, Leo. So again, manifest in the energy you need, manifest in the passion you need. Get your head off the pillow if that's where you're at. If you're feeling like you're stuck out in the cold, feel free to manifest in whatever it is that you need. The universe is abundant like that. Whether that's energy, whether that's, passion, it doesn't always have to be three-dimensionally tangible. Keep that in mind. Let's grab just a couple more cards to close you out, Leo, and see where it finishes, okay? Nice. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the World here as ending energies. So what you see is this progression here between your Page of Pentacles all of a sudden becoming a more mature Knight of Pentacles, and then we also have basically the Wheel of Fortune progressing into the World, which talks to me a lot about just the mature evolution of the cards here. You're really able to close out a major karmic cycle, and you're able to actually present this offer in a mature way because you'll have the tangible things that you've been working on. I hope that helps though. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe on this. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Thank you for your guys' time.